What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here, brother. Oh, you know something, brother. What's going on, Vince Russo?
What is up, Doctor? Doctor, give me the news. What's
It's
going
a new
on?
year, man. It's New Year. Happy New Year.
New Year, bro. To you too, my friend.
Yeah.
Happy 2022.
You as well, man. How's the first 3 days been treating you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good, man. You know, I told one of my clients today, I said, you know what? If the first 3 days measures is indicative of what my 2022 is going to look like, that means it's going to be very relaxing.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always relaxing is always good, bro.
Oh,
Always
relaxing is always good, man.
Yes.
So cool, man. Well, Raw, we got a number one contender. We've got a dream match for the Royal Rumble. I'm going to start off with this, Vince, before we get into the segments one by one. I've got an issue, man. I've got an issue. And my issue is that dream matches, as much as dream matches can happen, is something that I, as a wrestling fan, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Now, the problem is you can't just throw a match that's never happened before at a Royal Rumble to have basically a blow-off match for something that Bobby Lashley has been tweeting for years now and has had in interviews and everywhere. He's made it very, very clear that he's wanted Brock Lesnar in a match. And we get at the Royal Rumble, and this is what we get. So, early Royal Rumble prediction, Vince. Do you think Bobby Lashley beats Brock Lesnar? And that basically brings Brock Lesnar back over to SmackDown to continue the feud with Roman Reigns?
No, absolutely not. If they were smart, it would be Reigns and Lesnar winner take all. I mean that
unification match.
That would be the smart thing to do. I can't imagine, bro. I can't imagine they're going to do anything short of that. I can't.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to have a unification match at all.
What do you think they're going to have?
I think, well, I thought it was going to be Lashley and Brock at Mania, which it should have been. And then Drew and Roman, which is rumored. Actually, the rumor is Drew, Roman, and Brock in a triple threat match. So as far as Mania is concerned, I definitely don't, because of, I don't think they're going to merge. I don't think they're going to dissolve the Universal Championship. I don't think they're going to do away with that belt. So,
bro, has it meant anything?
I think it's helped Roman Reigns quite a bit.
Well, but I'm talking about I'm talking about unification. So why would they get rid of the universe? Well, I mean, I guess they would, but
yeah,
I don't know, bro. I can't see it being anything but that. Especially, he's opening up the promo with I Roman.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it going anywhere else, bro.
Yeah, well, it's clear that day one was a last minute call. And so,
bro, I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Do it, Vince. What you got?
I'm going to make a bold prediction. And I've been saying this all along.
Okay.
Bro, let me educate people a little bit here. And I'm not educating them, but they may be too young to remember. Okay? I'm going to make a bold prediction here.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Please remember Ed Ferrara and myself wrote the very first SmackDown.
Yes.
Remember
the pilot one in 98?
Yeah, whenever it was.
Okay.
Remember,
99.
SmackDown was a continuation of Raw. There was no brand split. You had Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, a continuous storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happened, guys, was when wrestling got so hot in the late 90s and the early 2000s, the WWE wanted to take advantage of that. So they split the roster so they could have 2 touring companies.
Correct.
That's why they split the roster. Okay, bro, here we are, 2022. WWE can't sell tickets and can't fill houses anymore. They're practically not touring.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the brand split, it doesn't make any sense because they're not touring. And Chris, I'm going to tell you this because you and I have spoken about this many times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, bro, there's a lot of this with USA and Fox and who gets who. There's a lot of this, which is ridiculous because there's no reason for the brand split in the first place. On top of that, we are seeing them release wrestlers hand over fist.
Yeah, over 80 in last year.
Here's my bold prediction, bro. They're going to unify the titles. There's going to be one champion, and they are going to do away with the split in 2022. It doesn't make any sense anymore, bro. And I'm telling you, it is causing a lot of conflict between USA and Fox. What the WWE has been trying to do, Chris, is they're trying to serve 2 masters. And it's getting more and more and more difficult because if you look at it now, Chris, I was reading today, well, Brock Lesnar is still a free agent.
Yep.
Okay, fine, bro. So Brock Lesnar is still going to appear on both shows. Okay, well, if that's the case and I'm USA Network, then why isn't Roman Reigns a free agent? Why can't Roman Reigns appear on Raw? If Brock is the Raw champion and you guys are getting Brock, then why can't we get Roman? What does the WWE say to that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, bro, bold prediction, unification, end of split, one roster, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, one roster. How about that? There was a lot in there, Chris. A lot.
I loved it. I loved it, but I hate the idea because I don't have confidence enough in the WWE booking team to know that if we get if we taint and contaminate Friday nights like we do, like to have any type of image of any type of reflection of Mondays, it's going to be the ratings are going to tank. I don't see it.
But you got
now they're over 2, which isn't something to brag about, but they're over 2.
Chris, you got the other side of that coin. What if the SmackDown writing team takes over Raw? You see, that's the other side of the coin. Then you should get a better Raw.
But they didn't again until the Fox deal, though. So they were together for a while because they did a split for a while, and then they start bleed a bunch. They start to bleed in.
The wild card.
Yeah, they start doing all that, and then they just said forget it and end the split. And then they did the split again when they had the Fox deal. But before the Fox deal, when they didn't have the split, it was terrible. It felt like SmackDown felt like Raw Light. It every single week it felt like Raw Light, and it still wasn't really highlighting anybody new. And that was my biggest gripe about SmackDown. It still didn't really highlight anybody new. For me, at least, it gives an opportunity to highlight people new. I don't think we'll see a Naomi if they put it together. I don't think Liv will be any relevant. I just don't see. I just don't see an opportunity for some people that it is now. And I also see people that won't have any type of television exposure. Like right now, the stock, like for instance, Apollo Crews' stock is heavily taking. And if they bring in SmackDown superstars on Mondays, I think he's gone.
Bro, they could save a lot of money.
They could save a lot of
Bro,
money.
you know what drives me crazy about the WWE? I swear, Chris, I'm like, I don't understand them for the life of me.
Yeah.
Bro, I haven't been watching a lot of football this year. I don't know what it is, bro. I'm just not into NFL anymore. I'm just not. But I watched some football yesterday. And many
My
times,
boys are the best in the AFC, by the way. We clinched the first round bye.
who's that?
Titans.
Bro, you got the
You
Titan.
know I'm a Titans fan.
Bro,
we talked about this with
you
Jeff
got
Jarrett.
the Titan curse, bro. Then I'm sorry. You need to talk to Double J about that, bro.
About this with Jarrett.
Yeah. But bro, here's where they drive me crazy. I'm watching Fox and they are plugging SmackDown numerous times. Yep. Bro, they're plugging two things on SmackDown. They're plugging the big dog. Fine, no problem. I said it all the time. Roman Reigns should be a movie star. Mm-hmm. Bro, guess what the secondary thing is they're plugging?
Who's that?
Sami Zayn. Like, bro, like, are you kidding? Like, really, bro? Like, you've got an NFL audience, millions and millions of casual fans, and Sami Zayn is your B promote. Like, what, Chris? You from a psychological point of view, they know they got an NFL audience. There's very, very, very attractive women on that show. Chris, who's watching football? Who's watching football? Men? Are men? Yes. So we've got a roster full of attractive women on SmackDown, but we're gonna promote Sami Zayn to the men watching the NFL. That's my beef with them. That's my beef with them is what is wrong with you people?
Understandable, man. I get it. I can't disagree with your beef with that, Vince Russo. I really can't. So, well, let's get into the show. I'm just disappointed, Vince. I'm disappointed in what we saw. I really think they should have built Lesnar to yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, why do Vince, you help me out with this.
Okay.
Call
me Dr. Vince for this. Just
refer me
just for this one segment.
Okay.
Refer me as Dr.
I got you.
Okay.
Dr. Vince, help me with this.
Go ahead.
The next Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match will be the 6th singles pay-per-view match between the two. The 8th pay-per-view match between the two, adding 2 multi-person matches they were in before. What is it about yet another Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match that I care about?
Chris, listen, I do tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. Like I really do. Okay, so again, here's another problem I have with them, and you and I have talked about this multiple weeks. Okay, bro, so Roman Reigns, I guess, tested positive for COVID.
Yes.
So now they can't give the match they promised with Lesnar and Reigns. So now they kind of got a book on the spot, okay? But Chris, if it's me and you've got a plan for it to be Reigns and Brock Lesnar, going to, WrestleMania or whatever your plans are, bro, all you have to do is make an adjustment for this night.
Yep.
That's all you have to do. Now, Chris, here's the bottom line. This is the bottom line, bro. For whatever reason, they will not say when somebody's got COVID, which
right.
they tell us in the NFL, they tell us MLB, hockey, basketball, when somebody tests positive, LeBron tests positive, we know. But Roman tests positive, it's a big secret nobody can know. So first of all, if Roman Reigns tests positive for COVID, okay, bro, they're kind of now in the baby face position. Oh my God, bro, listen, we're looking for the welfare of Roman, blah, 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 blah. So nobody's going to hold any gripe against them. So what that means, bro, is all you've got to do is find a surprise opponent for Brock Lesnar. They know a couple of days in advance that
I think they got tested like 6 o'clock the day of.
The day of the pay-per-view. I thought I was reading it beforehand.
Because the tweet was like the day of. It was the Saturday that he sent the tweet. Roman Reigns sent the tweet.
Well, I'm sure they knew before that, bro. If they didn't, they're just silly. Okay. But my point is, bro, all you got to do is get Brock Lesnar an opponent for day one.
Correct.
You got Goldberg
607 on the first.
Okay,
so
Goldberg's got a match left in him.
Yeah,
I'm reading now about Kurt Angle talking about a comeback. You can't give Kurt Angle 6 figures to do one match. Whatever you got to give the guy.
I've got one for you.
Go ahead.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, all you need is one match, just one match, because you're not going to get heat with your fans because Reigns has COVID.
For sure.
But rather than do that, bro, they put Brock in the match. Brock wins the match. Bro, what have we been saying all along about Big E? It's Drew McIntyre all over again. So you absolutely kill Big E, who you've built and put a lot of stock in, because you can't find a replacement for one match, bro. One match.
I can't agree with you more, Vince. The issue, and I've said this since Big E won the title. Big E was booked to look like everybody else. And that was my biggest issue with the Big E run. That's why I was like, people were just so excited about Big E winning. And I was like, nope. I don't. Again, I think about Endgame, and I said, no. I mean, I'm happy that Big E won. It's historic. But I'm not sold on the run because one, it happened on Raw, and Raw sucks, and so it didn't create that feel. And then he started the next week. He lost in a tag match. Then he started to go out first and mid card.
We talked about all this.
There was nothing about Big E's run to make him look big, and it's not Big E's doing, because he did what he was supposed to do. When he won the title, he cut a promo, and the whole arena started chanting, "You deserve it."
Yeah.
So there was something clear about Big E that everybody. I mean, if this happened for weeks. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. So they already had momentum. It wasn't like necessarily a trial and error like when Sheamus won. People didn't really know Sheamus. He was an ECW. He got drafted. He beat Cena in the tables match. People were like, who's this guy? And so it wasn't necessarily trial and error. Same thing with Jinder Mahal, although it was dicey, but he was a really good heel. But with Big E, though, he had the quintessential story of being built, and clawing and scratching and spinning, putting in his reps, putting in time. And that elicited the "you deserve a chance." So the booking team already had material on the platter and fan support, and they went backwards. They lost the fan support. It started to look like his people were cheering, but the ovations started to get lower. They killed his momentum, man. It's terrible,
bro,
like Bianca Belair.
There's been a lot of stories. I know stories from the past where, like, Big E, bro, is the type of guy that speaks up. And I've heard about instances in the past where they wanted him to do certain things, and he was like, I mean, and he voiced an opinion. Again, Chris, bro, I don't think people really understand when I talk about this, bro. All it takes is one time.
Yeah.
All it takes is one time, like telling a Pritchard, "Oh, I don't like that," or questioning. All it takes is one time, bro, and that's it. I don't think people realize how serious I am about that. That's how the business is. So when you look at a case like Big E and like, okay, bro, they put the belt on him. We're going to make a commitment and a investment. and then all of a sudden we get what we got on Sunday. So how do you not think, okay, bro, what did he do? What's the pun? Why is he in the door? You have to think that way, bro.
For sure. And it also makes me think they just don't have enough stock in their people, like their current talent. They have to always go back to the well.
Yep.
Because it goes to show they're not developing their talent appropriately. And that's my thing. It's just like, if you took Brock Lesnar out of the picture, Day One would have not had any type of big feel other than another Raw. There would have been nothing about Day One that would have been marquee.
Yeah.
Because, and that seems like that's the reason why they kept Lesnar in there, because they was like, okay, wait a minute, we need some type of marquee name, marquee feel to it. And then they had him win the thing. I was like, you know what? I was, some friends were texting me. I said, I guarantee Lesnar's winning tonight. Just because they wanted to draw that buzz, and they want Lesnar, they want that big feel. But the problem is, they're not developing the current stars to make Day One relevant without Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And that's,
bro.
listen,
I'm looking at this as a casual fan. To me, there are three people over in this entire company. To me, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Edge.
Yeah,
those are the only three people over to me. And bro, how many people are on this roster?
Yeah.
No, and I'm talking from a casual fan point of view.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, those are the only three guys that are over. That's it. Everybody else is there doing the same thing in the middle.
Yeah, 100% agree. Losing this week, winning this week, and now for some reason it seems like the WWE is going to make Big E fodder for Brock Lesnar to see another match against Roman. Bobby Lashley being, who does that?
Bro, I got to tell you something. There was a spot in the match tonight. Bro, when you watch Big E, you could tell as this went on, you could tell times when he wasn't into it.
Yes.
You could tell. And bro, tonight, did you see the one spot where either Owens or Rollins, one of the two, put him up on their shoulder, and he was doing the I saw that, and I'm like, bro, this guy is so
checked out.
He's so checked out after what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tonight. He is so checked out. And we said the same thing about Drew, bro.
Yep.
These guys do everything you ask of them. It's not on the talent, bro. 100%. It is not on the talent. You know, Vince McMahon should be doing vignettes with Big E, bro, not Austin 100%. Freaking Theory, for 100%. Crying out loud, man.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, Chris, it's been proven in wrestling that, bro, even if you were part of her tag team, even if you won an intercontinental title or something like that, you could still get over as the champion. And who do I point to? Booker T, bro. Booker T was in that same spot, Harlem Heat. Then all of a sudden, he's U.S. champion. He's doing that thing. Bro, I was there when we put the belt on him and the people went crazy. It can be done. But
absolutely.
Big E's not writing the show, bro.
Yeah. and and there was something about Booker T that felt like he was like coming of age. You know what I mean? Like I remember he was feuding with, in television championship, he was feuding with Perry Saturn and Rick Martel and Chris Benoit. You know, it was one of those like, okay, I can see like a good type of development here with him breaking out, to a single star. And then I marked, I have very rare mark out moments. One of them was when Booker T won the world championship. I was like, man, this is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like this is something new. I share, I share some culture with him, and I felt a part of it. Man, I felt a part of history with him, and it was fantastic. You have those feel good moments. You got the momentum you need to run with it. It's just one of those things that, again, you had Big E win the championship. The fans went nuts, and it just goes to show how bad the booking is, that he goes down. His momentum goes down.
Yeah.
Who in the world, if I was in charge of booking Big E, of really honing his character and really spending some time with making him a star, I would protest and veto every single time they try to put him on first. They put him in first in a match. They have him lose a tag match. I would say something to Vince about that every single time. How in the world do you expect another episode of, okay, here we go, let's pull on the well and have Lesnar come back, with how they're booking Big E? He felt like one of the boys, and that's terrible.
Then, bro, here's what they'll turn around and say, and this is the part that kills me. They'll put all the heat on him.
Exactly.
He didn't get over. You know it. Drew didn't get over. Big E didn't get over.
Yeah.
Really, bro? Come on.
Yeah. And my thing is this, and I said this before, if they had Lesnar win the title, they should have had Big E, and I said this even on the Bro Show, and I said Seth Rollins, should win. And
you got a couple of words in on the Bro Show.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
About a couple.
Okay.
But yeah, and I said, Seth Rollins should win the match, and then Big E win the Royal Rumble, because I really think they should have Big E have that moment, at WrestleMania. That's how you christen a new star. But WrestleMania looks like Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the 6th time. Who's over? Like, who's being built here?
Bro, let me ask you this, though. You see, this is how they think. Are they now going to put Big E over in the Royal Rumble to make it even Steven again? Is that what they're going to do?
I doubt I think he goes back to mid-card land, man. I do. And it's really unfortunate.
It is.
I think he gets the exact same as the Kofi treatment. Kofi lost in 10 seconds. At least Big E lasted longer, but Kofi lost in 10 seconds to Brock Lesnar. I call Brock. I've christened Brock Lesnar as the New Day Killer, because he's beaten 2 New Day people, 2 New Day members for the WWE Championship, Kofi and Big E. And unfortunately, I see the same thing happening with Big E as happened with Kofi Kingston. Just goes right back to mid-card. And again, if you have someone win the title and go back to mid-card, I mean, Jinder Mahal did it. They even did it to AJ when he lost. Why do you, Seth, when he lost, why are people going back to mid-card or settling for mid-card when they are the main eventers? Kevin Owens did the same thing. If it goes back to the Attitude Era, that would be the same thing as Austin losing to Kane in the first blood match, and then the night after he's going against a mid card. He's going against Funaki in the middle of the show. You know what I mean? Like, people will see that and be like, "What? This isn't who did this?"
Yeah.
And with right now with what they're doing with Big E, it just doesn't seem as if they even cared. And you really bring up a good point. Why would something, if that's the case, if he spoke up and they said something about it, why in the world would they risk not building up a star at the expense of someone speaking up?
Bro, let me ask you a question, please, because I don't listen, bro. I just watch Raw because I get well taken care of from Sportskeeda. That's the only question. Bro, let me lay this out for you. Who did Lesnar beat at the pay-per-view? Who did he pin?
He pinned Big E.
That tells you right there.
Yeah.
Bro, that tells you right there. Because if the title's on the line and you don't pin Big E is still protected. You got
Correct.
Owens and Rollins in the match.
Correct.
Those guys mean nothing.
Correct.
Owens and Rollins don't mean anything, bro.
Yep.
Now, one person is tuning in to watch Owens and Rollins. So you got two guys, and he's still protected.
Yep.
Bro, I guarantee you 100% this is how it went down. I guarantee you they put Lesnar in the match. They said Lesnar was going over. I guarantee you, bro, Big E had an issue with that and a problem and brought it up. So guess what? Okay, all right, yeah, okay. Let us discuss this. Big E leaves the room. You know what the discussion is? Beat Big E. I'm telling you, bro. Chris, if that wasn't the case, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
You beat those other two guys. Big E never got pinned to lose the title. That's his beef. I never got pinned.
Correct.
But if you pin him, that's because he probably objected to it, because they probably had another story at the last minute. Oh, we're going to throw Brock. He's going to go over. And Big E, well, what about my story? What about what we've been working towards?
Yeah.
Let us discuss it. They come out of that room, Big E's doing a job.
Yeah. It's interesting you said that, because as soon as Big E got pinned at day one, I said, oh, it's over. You could have protected. I was thinking the same thing. I said,
yep,
Rollins and Owens can absolutely take a pin right now.
Yep.
Absolutely, especially Owens. Especially Owens can take a pin. He took a pin. He took a pin tonight.
And bro, it's not like Brock Lesnar needed to beat somebody. He's beaten a million people. He didn't need. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar needed to pin Big E to be credible.
Right?
Are you freaking kidding me, bro? That's BS.
Yeah, exactly. 100%, man. 100%. And again, you need to protect your champion. There were 3 other options, really 2, because you want to protect Lashley too for something in the future. But again, Rollins and Owens has virtually, especially Kevin Owens, has very little equity right now. Very little equity.
Yep.
He could have absolutely taken the pin. And it really would have given you opportunities to explore things in the future with possibly Big E, with possibly Lashley. I wouldn't have had any issue, and I think Big E should have won. But at the same time, if Lashley would have won, at least they could have said, okay, Big E versus Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, for a rematch. And then Lashley versus Brock at WrestleMania. But Big E done. They just tossed him out.
Well, Chris, think about this. Big E doesn't get pinned on, and you could have laid out that match in such a way where he got screwed and he doesn't get pinned. That's his beef, okay? Bro, then you go to tonight's match. He doesn't get pinned again.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Correct. So now you keep him strong because nobody ever beat me for the title.
Yep.
That's his story, bro. But the fact that they did it the way they did, they didn't like something he said or did.
That makes sense. And you would know, as someone who's worked backstage for a number of years, that makes perfect sense. So we start with Paul Heyman. The lights go off, and up comes Paul Heyman. Cuts the promo. Vince, when I saw this, I said, okay, so where's the continuity here? You literally have, and you say you only watch Raw. I know that you still follow things, and you work for the brand, so you're aware of certain things. So Heyman has a interview. He has a interview with Caleb Braxton, and he's just disheveled. He's got some fuzz going on. Didn't shave. He just looks just terrible. And he said this might be the end. He cuts a promo saying, this might be the end. after he gets fired from with Roman Reigns, and it goes from that to lights off, lights back on, and he cuts a promo, just business as usual.
Yeah.
Advocate the reigning defending Brock Lesnar, and that's it. I mean, that nothing from that. Weeks and weeks, he's my advocate. Oh, wait a minute, am I really his advocate? And then when he cut a promo, he's like, did some deals, making him a free agent. Oh, allegedly, I mean, I'm like, when he said that, I said, well, what are we doing here? And Heyman knows better. He's a genius, right? And it just, well, I will say this though. I am glad. It seems like Heyman probably didn't have anything to do with Big E losing, because I am glad that Heyman did put Big E over. It's funny in that opening promo, he put Lashley over, he put Big E over, but he just buried, Owens and Rollins, which they should have done the night before. They should have pinned them. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering, like, why would you? And it goes back to what we were just talking about. Big E shouldn't have been pinned, because it would have made Lesnar putting Big E over make even more sense.
Well, bro, that could be Heyman's way of calling BS.
Correct.
It very well could
That's
be.
what I picked up.
Very well could be.
That's what I picked up.
But I got to tell you, bro, like they're probably thrilled to death to have Heyman on that show, bro. You talk about a time eater. I mean, bro, this was 17 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow.
17 minutes and 30 seconds before we saw Orton and Riddle.
Yeah. And well, that's perfect for WWE, a 3-hour show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But see, bro, again, if this were the Attitude Era, we see Brock Lesnar at the beginning of the show. Well, now I'll just tune out. Brock's gone. Bro, if this is the Attitude Era, we would have threaded Brock throughout. And guess who would have been the special guest referee for that match?
Who's that?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's what we would have done. But no, let's get Brock out there in the open, and then he'll come out at the end and make eye contact with Big E. Like, oh my God. Bro, you know how sad that is, bro.
Yeah, very. RK-Bro cuts a backstage promo. Now, did you notice before they went to the commercial, Orton was just kind of standing there, and then Riddle goes up to him, and then he kind of shakes his head and he goes back. And then when they come back, they start the promo. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that. No.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like they kind of miscued or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I mean that they cut a promo backstage. This leads to another champion losing, which is terrible. They lost a tag match to the Alpha Academy after beating them over and over again and beating them in singles matches last week.
Bro, think about the logic of this. Let's look at the last 3 weeks. Orton can't RKO Otis. Week 1. Okay. Right. Week 2, Orton RKOs Otis. Okay. Week 3, Otis goes over.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have meant more if Orton still couldn't RKO him and then he went over?
Correct.
Like, bro, I don't know how many writers there are there, but it's like nobody knows what the other person is doing because it's so illogical, bro.
I agree, man. It just seems like this is their way for episodic television, but it's just like I've said plenty of times before, if I stop watching Raw now and pick it back up 6 months later, I really didn't miss, like, I don't have to backlog, I don't have to backtrack and figure it out. It's like my wife and I, we picked up another show, Amazing Race. So Survivor's our show. We picked up Amazing Race now since Survivor's gone, and so we went back like probably a couple seasons ago or something like that. And my wife would, watch it and we'll binge on it. We've watched like 3 episodes at once before. And there was one that she fell asleep at and she watched it the one with me, and she's like, "Yeah, I have to watch." And she knew the person was eliminated, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go back to that episode, to see why he was eliminated, because he was unlikable, right? He was like the heel of the Amazing Race. Oh, I want to go back, knowing that he's eliminated. I want to go back to see why he was eliminated. With Raw, there's no need to go back to
never, bro. No,
no
I'm the same way, Chris. If I'm watching something and I doze off and I wake up and I miss like 5-10 minutes, I got to rewind back.
Yeah.
But what did I miss? What I missed here? Oh my gosh, bro! Like, what are you rewinding on this show? What are you rewinding?
Omos.
Yeah.
You want to see the choke slam? Like, oh man, wait a minute, I missed the choke slam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Next we have Bobby Lashley cuts a backstage interview with with Bobby Lashley with MVP. What do you say? Brock Lesnar fears me. That was what he said.
That's the angle. There's your angle. That's your angle. That's it. That's the angle. Yep.
Almost cuts a backstage interview, and again, I mean, we'll get to that as far as him and AJ.
And then we had so many replays after that, Crib. Replay on top of replay on top of replay.
Yeah. Dana Brooke and Reggie defeating Tamina, and now she's with Akira Tozawa. She chooses a different. So this angle seemingly is that instead of the chase arounds now Tamina is going to pick different people from the 24/7 clan and try to team with them. And the stipulation is, first of all, there was someone who gave a $5 super chat. Let me know who it was back in yonder. So I want to definitely give you some love. Apologies. Oh, here we go. Keon. In addition to my previous comments, Dr. Featherstone, your honesty is refreshing and you balance Mr. Russo awesomely. To be honest, Mr. Russo, you are the best right now. All right, cool.
RN is right now. See, I didn't know that. Well, very nice. Klon. Very nice, Klon.
Keon. Good job.
Keon, that's an I.
Keon, that's Keon.
Klon, bro. Oh, my God. Bro.
We make a healthy balance, Vince Russo. Yes. Shout out to Keon. Thank you for the very, very nice comment there. There's another super chat.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay. I just want to remember. I want to find out what the stipulation was because I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah. Stipulation. Okay. Before that, let's get to another super chat. And we've got the big 1999, bro.
Wow.
From Rollins Curtis.
Wow.
Russo was so right about Becky Lynch's weak promos. Clearly, the man image was too much for her, mic abilities, but also, like Bubba Ray said, we don't believe her as a heel, which makes her promos and facial expressions cringy. Spot on.
Yeah, Rollins, you're right on. You're spot on because just jumping ahead a little, like her promo tonight. You're not gonna get that raise, and you're not gonna like that is such the cookie cutter generic heel. Come on, man, you got to do better than that, bro.
Like here's the thing. You can tell like a good heel makes cheap heat feel real good. Like an MJF. He's really good at cheap heat because it feels like, he's getting underneath someone's skin.
Yeah.
But a non-good heel that's not very good.
Great point.
Like the cheap heat feels cheap.
Yes,
it feels really cheap.
Absolutely, it does, bro.
And with Becky Lynch, the cheap heat just feels really cheap.
Yeah.
And when she cuts those promos,
it's really cheap, and it's like, okay, fans boo here, and fans boo, that's what it is, and it's not believable, bro.
Yep. And then when she did the whole, having her moment, fans were still cheering. So it's like, okay, now it's our kid debut. Boo. Okay, you're saying something about South Carolina. Oh, but we still kind of like you at the end when you have your comeuppance against the baby faces. So
yeah.
But the stipulation is it's a mixed tag match. And if
The man pins
Tamina,
the man. He's the
yeah,
champion. If Tamina pins Dana, she's the champion.
she's the champion.
So that's how they're gonna put it back on a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how they're gonna put it back on a guy.
Essentially, that's what's going to happen, right?
Jeez, riveting, riveting, bro. I'm telling you, riveting.
Okay, so when does the 24/7 championship dissolve in 2022?
It's got to, bro. It has to. If it doesn't, it's a rib on us. It has to, bro.
Yeah,
Come on.
I can see that. It's at first, can you believe that Mick Foley introduced his title? Can you believe that? What just terrible tradition so far. I'm a huge R-Truth fan, and everybody knows that. I have a soft spot for R-Truth. I liked it in the beginning when it was for the sake of making R-Truth having television spots, and it was cool. And then they did the Drake Maverick thing that was kind of cool too. Brought his wife in, and they were having backstage things, the weddings and stuff like that. That was fun. But then when they start just running around the ring and stuff like that, I'm like, what are we watching here? This is absolutely ridiculous. And then it's funny because they would run around different matches that were non-title between two people that had a bigger name. And the two people would just watch them run, and they wouldn't even stop them to try to win the title.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't care about this. This goes to show how low the title is, that people just don't stop them. So, next we have Kevin Owens. Well, we talked about the Becky Lynch promo.
Yeah, but also with the Becky Lynch promo, bro, it's like, okay, and you've been pushing Liv as a baby face. We saw Gigi and the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got her and Bianca Belair fighting.
Yeah.
How are you going to establish baby faces? Bro, you can do that stuff when people are already established.
Exactly.
You can't do it while you're establishing them.
Correct.
They've
100%.
got to already be established, bro.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Because at the end of the day, Vince, why do we care about Bianca Belair, and what beef do they have? And why do we care that they have beef? At the end of the day, why do we care? And then all of a sudden they look at each other and they're like, okay, you want to do it? And they just start fighting. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter because Becky Lynch had the comeuppance anyways.
Yep.
So it just goes to show that you had two babyface, instead of establishing both of them, you had them fight only for the heel to win at the end.
Yeah.
So who's over here? Yeah. Rowdy with the $2 super chat. Absolutely nothing.
Thank you, Rowdy.
Just want to give $2. Generous this.
Wait a minute. Rowdy says $2, but aren't those two Benjamin Franklins, bro?
Yeah.
Maybe he meant 200. Did he give 200? Yeah, 200.
$200 for Rowdy.
Rowdy. Yeah. All right.
$100 and $200.
Yeah, that's a misprint. The $2 is a misprint. It's really the picture. All right.
It is a misprint. It's a misprint. We have Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins cutting a promo backstage. Do you have anything on that?
Yeah, bro. Yes, because again, you talk about continuity. These guys should be pissed. This shouldn't be funny Laurel and Hardy, Ivan and Costello. Brock Lesnar gets thrown into that match at the last minute, and they lose the opportunity to be the W. These guys should be pissed. This is not a time for comedy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the same thing, bro. This is what I mean about they think they're so over, and they're such pros, and they don't get the simplest of things. The way Seth Rollins comes out, he's coming out doing the whole act. Bro, you lost an opportunity to be the champion because Lesnar got thrown in at the last minute. You should be coming out pissed at the world, but no. Hey, Hey, what, are you a clown, bro?
Right.
Like, that's why nobody believes this stuff, Chris.
Yep.
Nobody believes it because half of these people don't know what they're doing. And, bro, it's not only on them, it's on the producers. If I'm a producer there, I'm on the other side of the curtain with Seth. And I'm saying, bro, remember what happened last night, man?
Yep.
They threw Lesnar. You got screwed, bro. You're seeing blood tonight. Put your comedy act aside, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Not tonight.
Yep.
But no, bro, it's like you said, it's the Heyman thing. Frazzled, bearded, and hey, I'm the advocate again.
Yeah. Nothing. Just, and I agree with you too, Vince, because we need to see those different layers of Big E. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the guy who's like, yo, let's turn this person babyface, just turn this person heel. That's just kind of like a microwave method to try to make someone over, and then they kind of fall flat, because even if Big E turns heel, he'll end up losing and jobbing out to people anyways.
Yep.
I think that the true challenge is give him layers. Austin didn't have to turn heel. He didn't have to turn heel. He just had different layers.
Yep.
You know, like he was the person who was against Vince, and then Vince threw in Kane, and then Vince threw in Taker, and then he's going with Dude Love winning the tag team championships with them. You know, so there's different layers in Austin's character.
And bro, we purposely did that. I mean, one thing that I can throw out there that everybody remembers is, bro, he's at odds with McMahon.
Yep.
It's a war with McMahon. Stephanie gets kidnapped from the Undertaker. McMahon now goes to Austin, and Austin, of course, is the old FU. But at the end of the day, Austin makes the save. Why? Because he showed compassion. He hated McMahon, but at that time, Stephanie was the innocent little 17-year-old. So Austin showed that compassion, bro.
Correct.
It made him human. Do you know how important things like that are? Yeah. Those things are gone, bro. They're gone. They don't exist anymore, bro.
100%, bro. 100%. You maybe even say, bro.
Yeah.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Question for you real quick. Let's go retro for a second.
Yeah.
Was Vince McMahon always pinned to be the higher power?
No. No.
Okay. Who was
it, bro, was supposed to be Chris Daniels.
It was supposed to be Christopher Daniels, really?
Bro, what happened was Chris Daniels was very, very, very hot on the independent scene back then. And, he was the fallen angel gimmick.
Yep.
And, I pitched the idea that it be Chris Daniels. And, bro, what happened was Vince had no idea who Chris Daniels was. So Chris Daniels shows up at TV to do this, and Vince goes to me, who's that? And I'm like, Vince, that's Chris Daniels. Vince took one look at him and said, that's not the higher power.
Oh, man.
We're not doing that. And that's when, at the last minute, it was me all along, Austin. It was me. It was supposed to be the fallen angel, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was the plan? Like, he's the higher power, and where do y'all go from there?
Oh, I mean, we didn't have a long-term plan, but we were going to really develop him as like an Aleister Black.
Wow.
A fallen angel, and we were, evil, and we were going to really develop that character. But Vince, and listen, nothing against Chris. Me and Chris kind of have a checkered past. Nothing against Chris. It was a size thing. Gotcha. Vince could not get past. He was small.
Yeah. I'm friends with Christopher Daniels, and just a awesome dude, man. Just a super nice guy. I've heard of that. I've heard the stories. Right about Christopher Daniels. I just wanted to know from the writer's mouth. Was it the truth
right there? Yeah.
So Christopher Daniels is the one that should have been like, it was me. It was me. Oh. Yeah. You all bought a hook, line, and sinker. I just thought, did Vince say no, not him, me, or
no?
Vince
said no, not him, and then we gotta. Okay, bro, where are we, and what do we do?
Okay.
So he didn't suggest himself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I think it would have been interesting to see. if Christopher Daniels would have been the higher power. But next we get Queen Zelina and Carmella defeating Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. When are we getting this heel turn from Rhea Ripley? I don't think we should, but it seems like
I can't get past the ridiculousness of Carmella's mask. And bro, I'm telling you, they were looking for Carmella to do a pre-tape or a live spot, and she was in makeup and she missed the spot, or she was late, or she's always in makeup and she's always late.
Yeah.
And this is why she's wearing the most ridiculous looking black leather mask, bro. Remember a Pulp Fiction, bro? The dude with the mask and the ball gag. That's what it reminds me of, bro.
Very nice, very nice. So there's also people saying over the weeks that Nikki's going to be the one who turns heel because she keeps losing.
I think she has to, bro, because Rhea Ripley, she was a heel. Now she's going to be a baby face.
Yeah,
I think it almost has to be.
I agree.
Has to be her, bro.
I agree. It's a way. It's a radical change from the ASH. You gotta do something like that. You can't have like kind of ASH and
Bro, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. They were promoting Alexa Bliss is coming back next week.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be the least bit surprised if they tie those two back together again.
Yeah. Without any type of build up, just all of a sudden, just a tag match.
I'm telling you, bro, I would not be the least bit surprised.
Yep, it's a good point. Good call there. Street Profits defeating Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz.
Yeah.
Aziz. Yeah, I just Apollo, man. Apollo. Just why? I mean, after spending all that time having him have an African gimmick, and even do the accent, it actually worked. Good WrestleMania spot, against Big E. And how the mighty have fallen, man. They've lost any stock in him, any investment in him. Why? Explain to me as a writer, when you see someone like an Apollo Crews, who was a babyface for a while, was a U.S. champion, feuded with MVP, super talented, but just didn't have that spark as far as a character is concerned. They tried to recruit him for the Hurt Business and think he rejected it and all that. So then they do a complete overhaul. He turns heel, gets this really interesting gimmick, new gear, new style, and they have him win the Intercontinental Championship. And then he just loses to, I think, Nakamura, and his entrance just falls off the face of the earth. Explain to me, like, the process from a booking standpoint of Apollo Crews.
I'm going to tell you what I think is going on, bro, because, I'm going to steal a phrase from my good friend Bin Hamin. Bin Hamin always says, bro, you got to commit to the bit. So if this is what we're going to do with Apollo Crews, we've got to commit to it.
Yep.
Commit to the bit. I'll give you another example. Putting a chest protector on D'Lo.
Yeah.
Something that simple. D'Lo hated that. But I told him, bro, we're going to commit to the bit. It's going to be part of who you are. And it wound up working huge for D'Lo with the frog splash and all that.
Beat Triple H.
I'm telling you, we bring up so many things on this show with, Heyman, no explanation. He comes out, he said, bro, I'm telling you, I think it's Vince.
Really?
And bro, and I've heard from people in meetings that Vince is forgetting things from hour to hour.
Wow.
Bro, there's no other explanation for it unless Vince has this great idea for Apollo Crews, and then 3 weeks in, he doesn't remember what he wanted to do.
Wow.
I'm telling you, bro, because there's no other explanation, and nobody's going to challenge him.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to step up and say, well, Vince, this really doesn't make any sense because, 2 weeks ago we did this. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah.
So you got this guy calling the shots, and we're sitting at home saying, bro, like a lot of this stuff don't make sense, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And then no one can say anything to him now.
Right. Nobody can say nothing, bro.
Well, we get Damien Priest defeating Dolph Ziggler.
Bro, I can't wait till I can openly talk about my emails with Vince because they're going to explain a lot. They're going to explain a lot when I'm able to talk to you about that, because I got to do my reveal on Vince versus Vince.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's out there, it made me understand a lot.
Yeah. With Dolph Ziggler, he's a utility player, to WWE he is. I think he's a really, good worker, very good talent. Him and Bobby Roode. And but for some reason they're being plugged against Damian Priest, who literally has a gimmick of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of deal. Who cares? Who cares, Vince?
First of all, bro, like when you talk about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, okay, there was a story behind Dr. Why have we been informed of why he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. See, that's the problem, Chris.
Yep.
If there is a story, if there is a reason, if this kid was traumatized at 5 years old and has been going to therapy and this and that, and something triggers him, okay. But when you're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and nobody knows why, you're just watching like, oh, okay, all right.
He's the Damien side is what they said.
Right.
It's time. You know what was next, right?
Bro. Well, we had before we had that, bro, didn't we?
No, the mesmerizing ring promos.
I probably didn't even write it down because I was so mesmerized by it. I'm almost sure I wrote it down because he had a couple of things he said in here. Oh, yeah. Well, bro, you just forgot the dewdrop spot. We had a dewdrop quickly.
Oh, did we have dewdrop?
Yeah, just in the back. That was nothing. But then we've got the bro. Let me tell you something. When he says saying, "I never say I'm sorry," that shows weakness. Yeah. Bro, that's a shoot.
That's a shoot. Yeah,
bro, 100%. That is a shoot. Yeah. This man, I never heard this man say he was sorry. Never.
I never say I'm sorry. It shows weakness. Yeah,
bro, he did not look good tonight.
Man, he looked worse than this.
He did not look good tonight.
Yeah. And then they have to be watching the show, Vince, because we say every single week the side views, the mumbling Vince, we can't hear you.
They had like this was a 2-camera shoot.
You have like a camera shoot with the lighting on, hard cam to the front,
which unfortunately made him look worse.
Yeah, it did. It made him look really bad.
We were able to read his lips a little better, but it kind of made him look. Yeah,
they're going to show Theory, and then there's Vince right there. No more side views.
Oh, bro, what was the whole reason behind this? He's in the Royal Rumble.
That was it. Yeah.
No. Okay.
That was it. It just, like as if that's going to be, over the past few years, you can just literally grab a mic and say, hey, I'm in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So this time, just because Vince says that you're in the Royal Rumble doesn't make it any special. You know what I mean? Expect the unexpected. I'm about to do something. I'm about to be in the Royal Rumble and possibly main event WrestleMania. And he was like, wow, like he didn't know the stipulation.
Bro, I got to tell you something. When you gave the professional definition of a narcissist a couple of weeks ago with Vince, You were so spot on, bro. He thinks we're seeing Attitude Era Vince.
Yep.
That's what he thinks we're seeing, bro. Like when you explain that to me, I was like, bro, you are dead on. Yes, that's it, Chris. That you explain, you're dead on because there's no other reason, like for no other reason.
Yep. 100%. Miz and Maurice cuts an in-ring promo. Of course, we knew this was going to happen. Beth Phoenix comes out, Edge, and Vince, they better have like some super duper surprises for WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania better be like WrestleMania 17 quality, like one of the best ever, because this seems like this should have been a WrestleMania match too. Where do you use Edge after this? Omos?
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. But
Edge versus Omos at Mania?
Oh, we do have Johnny Knoxville in the Royal Rumble.
We do. We do. We do. Who do you think could be a surprise entrance? Maybe we'll talk about that on the Bro Show. Who do you think could be? Think about that for a second.
Maybe Paige will talk about that on the Bro Show.
There you go. There you go. You'll get your 2 words out, brother. Next we have
that was such a rib on me last week, bro. We were done with the show and he taps it at the last minute. I knew, bro, I'm here for another 30, bro. I knew it. And I'm charging Sportskeeda for that extra 30, bro. I'm Raju.
I'm working overtime, bro.
Raju, you listening to this? What a rib that was on me, bro. What a rib.
Man, speaking of Paige, he's a good storyteller, man.
Oh, he's a great storyteller.
I'm actually probably 30, 40 minutes into his interview on the Austin podcast.
Yeah,
really enjoying it. It's really cool. I've interviewed him twice.
Great story.
Before we became colleagues, and it's just there's a lot of things that he shares on the Austin podcast. It's actually my favorite podcast. I love these Broken Skull sessions because I love storytelling. I've interviewed over 300 people, and some of the best people I interview is like Black Bart, Greg Gagne, people like that. Ice Train. I love people. Bill Dundee. I'm friends with the superstar Bill Dundee. I love people who Bobby Fulton's another one. I love people who just share stories. Jim Brunzell, he's another one who I love interviewing. I've interviewed multiple times. Bro, people who just love stories.
The best storyteller, bro, far and away. And I've heard some of the best.
Really?
And I would say right here on this network, like right there at the top. But it is Dutch without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, Dutch is another one. Yeah.
But I got to tell you, bro, like the greatest storyteller of all time, in my opinion, bro, Pritchard's a great storyteller.
Pritchard is?
Because he can do everybody he's talking about.
Yeah.
So he'll break into their character.
Yeah.
Pritchard's he's the best storyteller.
He is. I've interviewed Pritchard before.
Yeah, bro. Hands down.
He's a good storyteller. I agree. Yeah. Then we get Omos and AJ Styles, just a blow off. I mean, after all of that, the breakup and weeks developing, just a blow off on an episode of Raw.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Are they doing this to gain sympathy for AJ possibly winning the Royal Rumble?
I don't think so, bro.
I thought they had AJ winning, but I don't see it anymore, though.
Boy, I mean, how many times are we going to go back to? I know AJ's never won a Royal, but you're going, bro. You got to start looking at the age of some of these people, bro. Like 45. Even when you look at Lashley, like, bro, they're not young men.
Yeah, bro. Lashley's 45. I think he's born in 76, and AJ's born in 77. So he'll be 45 this year.
I mean, bro, that should not be happening. No. That should not, bro. As great as AJ Styles is, Bro, he's not in his prime at 45. AJ would tell you that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And that's the reason why they should be developing newer stars.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You have a 40-year-old WWE. Let me see. Lesnar was born in 77, I think. So I think he's 44 too. And Lesnar, Reigns is still young. I think he's like 36 now. He was born in 77. He'll be Lesnar will be 45 in July.
It's crazy, bro. It really, really is crazy when
Reigns is 36, like I said.
Yeah, man, it's nuts.
He'll be 37 in May, so that's still decent age.
That's fine. Yeah.
Lashley will be 46 this year. So looks like $1 million though.
Yeah, right.
But you still got to develop the younger talent for sure.
Yeah.
Then we close with Bobby Lashley winning the #1 contenders for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, bro. Just. I mean, seriously. Like, thank God they took the match out of the ring. I mean, thank God, because you saw, bro, this was going to be 30 minutes, and I'm like, bro, like, thank God, bro. They hadn't fought in the crowd and out, like they hadn't done that in a long time. So thank God that broke up the monotony a little bit.
Agreed. Yep. I agree with that. Well, fun show. We got Joey. Very, very nice. At the 11th hour, Joey comes out. Here we go.
Time out, Joey. Time out, Joey.
Dr. Chris.
What's up?
What was missing on this show? bro, how funny, Chris, how funny will it be if we never see or hear from Johan again? How hysterical
no more vignettes,
bro. How hysterical would that be if we never see or hear? Bro, is it possible he had a couple of bad matches and after 12 weeks they've scrapped this?
Well, he was on Main Event, so that there's a good chance that they could have scrapped it.
Oh, bro, if there is no Veer Mahan sighting next week, they literally wasted 3 months of our time, bro.
Vince Russo, what did I tell you? I said the vignette curse.
Oh my!
We saw with Karrion Kross. We saw with Ava Marie. We saw with Bearcat Lee. We saw with EC3. The vignette curse.
Oh, bro,
goes.
Bro, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to next week's show, because if there's no mention 2 weeks in a row, he's done. He's done, bro. Oh man,
He
bro.
becomes. Vince Russo, didn't I say from the very beginning of these vignettes?
You did.
I said, if I was Veer Mahan, I would say, please stop the vignettes.
Yes.
And it seems like if we don't, next week will be the icing on the cake, because the only thing you had to do was just B-roll the same stuff. You could have just did the same vignette.
Yep.
You're killing time. The vignette's only 30 seconds long. You could have done a Veer vignette tonight.
Yep.
But conspicuous by his absence,
bro,
we do not see a Veer Mahan promo. It wasn't a sighting. We don't care about a sighting right now. We just give us the vignettes.
Yeah.
Didn't get one. And next week we will be waiting with bated breath, Vince Russo, of the Veer Mahan vignette.
Bro, what are the odds next week that we see Alexa Bliss back? No Jilly. What's the doll's name? Jilly?
Lily.
No Lily. No mention of Lily. No mention of this playground. She's just Alexa Bliss in the women's division. What are the odds of that happening next week?
I would say probably about 45%.
I think more like 80.
You think 80?
Oh my God, yeah.
I was thinking about 70 to 80 at first, and I was like, you know what? I'll give them. Well,
bro, how could they ever explain their way out of that? How what can
Well,
they
you know what?
possibly do?
Charlotte ripped up Lily, so she's
Right.
done. So they'll, you know what? It'll probably be about a 90% chance that we
Yeah.
won't see
Yeah.
because Lily's done. So we won't see. So we'll see Alexa Bliss, but Charlotte's on SmackDown now. So the continuation of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte is done, and so we'll get Alexa Bliss, the whatever she was called, with teaming up randomly with Nikki Cross.
Bro, how sad is it? I swear to God, after watching this show, I'm looking forward to two things next week. I'm
Veer
looking
Mahan.
forward to how they explain Alexa Bliss
Yes.
and if Veer Mahan.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking forward to
Yes.
to next week's show, bro.
Yes. Veer Mahan. If we don't see a vignette from Veer Mahan, it is official that Vince Russo is coming back with Veer.
Oh God, bro. Oh, poor Veer, man. Poor Veer. Oh my God.
Speaking of Vince Russo, let him know about the brand, my man.
Yes, guys. Just I got a lot going on, bro. I got Patreon. I got a channelattitude.com, but just go to Russo's with an S, russosbrand.com. That will bring you to everything that we got going on.
Yes, and I'm telling you, when Veer Mahan comes on the Royal Rumble, his pop is going to be Road Warrior. It's going to be Road Warrior pop.
Oh, God.
He's going to get a Road Warrior pop when he comes out of Royal Rumble, ladies. Because once again, you know what? Vince McMahon and company might also be trying to bring him down because we build people on this show. We turn gimmicks into gimmickade.
Yes.
And it seems like when we really make people over, all of a sudden they're like, God, we did that with the bouncies.
They get the kibosh. They get the big kibosh, bro.
That's crazy, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. And always remember, fear the fear.